Hey y'all, it's Amy from See Amy Draw, and it's been a really long minute since I recorded a video. I recorded some back in March and then just like never got around to posting them. But then I fell off the wagon almost entirely. The end of March and then April. It's just been one thing after another, and but yeah, I'm slowly collecting myself and getting back into everything. So I wanted to do a quick little updated flip of my Hobonichi cousin, which this I've been using for just like a journal, a daily journal. I have some things I keep tucked in the front here, as you can see. I have this like really sweet Valentine's Day card that Amy sent me, and it's so cute, and I keep it in the front because I just love looking at it. This was the first Valentine's Day I've spent technically single, and so I was like, yeah, it was very sweet to get a Valentine's Day card when I didn't really think I was going to get anything, so I appreciate that, Amy, if you're watching. I keep it tucked up here, and I love looking at it, and it matches all my pink and red in my little like about me or like cover page. So anyways, I think I've shown most of this to y'all. Oh, I need to update this. So this was like a tracker. I've been using this. I guess I'll just do a complete flip of everything. I was using this as a tracker for like making sure that I had done all the pages. So like when I did the page, I would come back here and mark it, especially because like in February I kind of like fell behind, and but it was only like a week at a time or a couple days at a time. And so I would mark the days that I had already completed, and then I would know what days I needed to go back and catch up on, and then I come here and then mark those off. I haven't updated this because I forgot it existed up here, but I really should, only to make myself see like how much is still missing. I am one of those people who, like, if I have stuff, I do want to go back and like journal about it. It's one of the main reasons why I Instagram stories so much, is so I can remember what all I did and stuff. So yeah. But also because I just like sharing a lot of aspects of my life with people, the good, the bad, and the ugly. And yeah, it's just kind of one way for me to heal, just connect with people, I guess. I have a lot of abandonment issues. And so I've always kind of had this idea that if I'm going through something and it's painful, then just connecting with people, making other, kind of sharing it so I can make someone else feel less lonely if they're going through some struggles too, then I've at least turned my pain into something good, into something positive. So that's kind of that. The monthlies, I've just been like, I was like just like collaging things. Yeah. Some highlights, some quotes from like Instagram. I'll just like screenshot, and then I'll print it out on sticker paper and cut it out and then put them in here. I was keeping like a bunch of them. I think I've used them all because it does help with some of these to use them on the daily pages just to help take up some space. So February was a fun month, I feel like. February and January are probably the best months that I've had. Everything else has just been like one struggle after another, but it is what it is. My birthday month, I still need to go back and fill it in. And then that's where I kind of like fell off with the monthlies, because this is essentially where I fell off with this journal almost entirely. My weeklies I had been using as like a snapshot. I'm gonna grab my coffee. So my weeklies, just kind of like a quick little overview of some highlights from the days. I don't really like fill in every little detail. Sometimes I just throw in some stickers. I started using a lot of tombos for like a week. I'll pick out some tombos, and then I would kind of just record which ones I was using for when I wanted to go back. That way I don't like my pen test page, whatever I call that. It's basically just like a hodgepodge page in the back of my journal where I just we'll take a Tombow and then I'll just to see what it looks like. But notice I'm not like labeling them, which is like, why? Okay. Anyways, I had a reference page that I used for last year. I've not found it. Maybe eventually. But yeah, this has just been like a hodgepodge of just like things. Sometimes I'll stick in some ephemera. Sometimes I'll have photos. Sometimes I'll just journal. And more like memes and stuff. Like I said, February was so good. I miss it so much. My best friend came to visit and it's just what I needed. But yeah, and then I got to go see friends in Atlanta at the beginning of the month. I was doing so much creatively, and then just like, yeah, things just changed pretty quickly. Beginning of March was pretty good. Hanging out with my kids a lot. I still hang out with my kids a lot. But yeah, this is kind of where I just step off a little bit. I have been going in and adding like little pieces of ephemera throughout the week, just so I have something there to remember, or just like, I don't know. Or if I print out too many photos for my daily pages, because you'll see in a minute, I've been using a lot of photos for my daily pages. And if I just like don't have space for it on the daily page, I just come and put it somewhere on the weekly. This is skipping a couple pages. Like here's some little tiny photos. I mean, I did a lot, and it's just I haven't gone through and like updated all this stuff. But that was the last week where I had put some things down. And this was basically because I had too many photos from this weekend to put, or that week to put in here. All right, and then we're going to get into our monthlies. My monthly, like, you know, this like cover page at the beginning, like the blank page you get at the beginning of the month. Let's show you one. Looks like this. I have just decided to start either decorating it throughout the month, or I would decorate it at the beginning of the month. The things that I just love and were making me happy. I do like the idea of doing it throughout the month as the month goes by, because then I can add photos of like all these different things. But at the beginning of this journal, I really wanted to do more drawing again in here. You'll see this is going to quickly fall off for me. So every day I was like drawing something, some little doodle or what have you. And then I've been taking so many more photos lately. I've kind of gone into this on Instagram. I don't know if I've talked about it here, but it's like, if you look through my old journals, you don't see me a lot because I'm the one that's always taking the photos, which is fine. But it kind of made me sad when I would flip through those journals and not see myself in any of the pictures. And I just kind of felt like I was disappearing. And like, these are things that I want my kids to have when, to just remember a lot about me and us and our family and everything, and the things and the struggles and the fun times and all of that. They're going to get these journals eventually. And I wasn't in any of the photos, so I was just like, man, that's kind of crazy. So you'll see here soon, this is what I mean about the memes. I'll just print a bunch of them, like really big. I've been using a lot of scrapbook paper, these memes here. But yeah, it kind of made me sad that they weren't, I didn't have any pictures. It's like going through a photo album and not seeing someone in it that you should see. So I've been taking a bunch of selfies. If you'll notice here in a minute where they just like start to explode, because my working out journey has really recently taken off to where I'm like, I go to a workout class 5 days a week and I absolutely love it. It's mostly weightlifting. And then I will go do cardio on my own about at least 3 or 4 times a week. And then every other week I go to a pole dancing class. I would go every week if I could, but I have 2 gym memberships and then pole dancing classes. I just pay for those individually. So yeah, it adds up. But those are things that I've been prioritizing. And so now I just take a daily, not daily, it is daily because I work out pretty much every day now. And I love it. It makes me happy. My classes, get to spend time with some of the most amazing people. And when I'm at the gym, I get to be by myself. and in my own thoughts, listening to all my favorite music and all that kind of stuff. But anyways, yeah, I take a photo every single time I go, and I usually post it to my personal, and I don't usually, I always post it to my personal Instagram page, mainly because it's for accountability. I have a lot of people who've checked in with me who told me that they've started doing something similar, and just from seeing like the results that I've seen very recently, I don't weigh myself, I don't measure myself either, I probably should, but I track my progress through the way that I look. But yeah, it's been kind of an incredible experience, and I'm really glad I have that, or else I would be in just this miserable pit of despair. But I really enjoy it. So anyways, yeah, these are just my pages through January. See, I was doing a lot more drawing and stuff. And then here's February. February I did do before at the beginning of the month, because I already knew like I wanted to use like these very specific stickers and like make it all very red and pink and fun and cute. I went to Atlanta and I got to see some friends, and I really want to come back to Atlanta very soon, because Genevieve, my friend, told me that y'all are getting a Daiso, which is amazing, or y'all already have a Daiso, so I'm ready for that trip. Probably sometime later this summer. But yeah, then I had a little me day, the second day in Atlanta. Before I drove home, I went to H Mart and did some stuff. Then that whole rest of the week was just like chaos. Yeah. And then, yeah, just some fun stuff. I decided to just focus on some happy things, because that's easier. Took Abby to go play pinball at this brewery, which we used to do this all the time, and now I feel really weird taking her up there, but it's like the only place that I can think of that's not like Paramount. I think you can take kids to Paramount. It's just, I hate going downtown. Parking is atrocious, and so Cahaba is a brewery kind of close to where I work, so she'll go for a guitar lesson. Then I took her to play pinball. It's very expensive. We do have what we call a barcade, but it's 21 and up, but they do a family day, and pinball is way cheaper, and I took her on family day last month. Yeah. It was so much fun. And then Kendrick Lamar's halftime Super Bowl performance just like lives in my head. So yeah, that was fun. Saw Captain America Brave New World. I thought it was okay. We just saw Thunderbolts. That one was okay too. Yeah. And I'm pretty sure this is where, yeah, I just had some stuff I was going through. My best friend came to town. That was so much fun. It was a lot. I love her to death. And I was so exhausted by the time that she left. We went and got matching tattoos. We used to watch Strong Bad all the time when we were growing up. And so I got Strong Bad and she got the cheat. And yes, it's the cheat with the glow stick. If you know, you know. I love that episode, the techno episode. Yeah. And then I took my oldest to a jazz event at the place I work, and that was a ton of fun. I guess I had a really great workout this day. And then I have like the stickers from vinyls that I'm collecting in here too, which is really nice. I either put them on the day that I put them on the day, they're in my journal, that's the day that I opened it and listened to it for the first time, not the day that I purchased it necessarily. The high school was closed because the toilets got clogged and it caused all this chaos. The whole situation went viral on TikTok and Instagram, which was absolutely insane. So if you've heard about that, yeah, that was my oldest high school. Anyways, yes, I think this is, I got Glorilla, Glorious album. I love that one. It's so good. It gets me out of so many funks, to be completely honest. But yeah, and then here starts March. This is my March cover page, which this one I did at the beginning of the month. Also because I already had like some of my favorite things picked out that I wanted to use. So there's that. These are doodles of the Patreon for March that I had done. I need to work on June's. I'm going to work on those sketches today and get that stuff done. I still have to get May's Happy Mail out. I'm going to go back to just making it myself. it is, I've gotten it down to where it takes me like maybe 2 days. So, yeah, outdoor trek. That was fun. Oh my gosh. This was like the coldest day ever. And like, I was not dressed appropriate. I had on like jeans and this hoodie, and it was freezing cold. And Abby didn't have her sweatshirt or her sweatpants. This is her first outdoor track meet, and we were just wildly underprepared for it. This day, I mean, this is, text messages with my oldest because they had a random drug test at the school, and I thought it was so funny. And then I had this little highlight pop up. I painted this mural back in 2016, and damn, I missed doing stuff like that. Like, I didn't really do a lot of them, but this one, I absolutely love this project. And then it took me a really long time, and then the family moved like maybe a month later, so it got painted over, which really broke my heart. Because when you spend hours and hours and hours on something to just disappear, essentially, it sucks, but it is what it is. I do have a friend of mine. I had done like around the same time I was working on this, I had a friend reach out from high school, and he asked me to paint this huge painting of a cow. And I did that commission, and he texted me a couple months ago, and he was like, hey, I just wanted to let you know I still have that painting. And I was like, that makes me feel really good. I used to do a lot of commission work. I don't anymore, just because I got screwed by a client, and it really sucked and it really hurt, and I just couldn't do it again. That's kind of when I fell into like having the business that I do now. But yeah, so when I do hear about people who still have my artwork, it really makes me feel good. It's nice to know that it's lasted, you know? Eating a lot of tater tots. I have not been doing my potato days like I used to. I just don't feel like it. But yeah. Sunday fun day. Caitlin and I went and saw Mickey 17, which was really good. Abby made this, like, she's been crocheting a bunch. She taught herself watching YouTube videos, and she's like incredible at it. This is where things just kind of get a little blank. I was going through and adding like little bits and things. This was my first pre-workout selfie. I'm pretty sure it was this one. No, it was sooner than that. It was this one. It was that one. That was the first time I took a photo. And I've been working out consistently since December. Childish Gambino. I finally got Camp on vinyl, which I've been really wanting. Now I have it. And I've been going through and printing a bunch of photos and just putting them down on the days that I have them. That's why you're going to see so many pictures. Another potato day. My screensaver is Kike Hernandez when he got his World Series ring for last year. And it's really funny because I have it as my screensaver on my phone because I think it's hilarious. And plus I love Kike. He's great. But people at my gym think that's my boyfriend. And I was like, what? Oh, well, first of all, I appreciate you thinking I could I could bag that, but that's great. But no, that's not my boyfriend. I am happily F-boy free. This is when I booked my trip to Atlanta to go see the Dodgers play. I was so excited. And then April sucked. All of April is done back planning, so this was done after the month had happened. Went through a lot of shit. Used a bunch of like stickers from Theoretical Designs. I'm pretty sure most of these are discontinued. I'm not entirely sure. You get to check out her website. And washi tapes and things. Oops, excuse me. From High Paper Clouds. So you're going to see a lot of that through here. Don't have anything yet for the first. I did put in some stuff. Did this really cute sketch of a pinball machine at my work, and it is personified as our work in the firehouse. So that was a fun like sketch that started out as a joke, and then it turned into an actual thing, which was really awesome. hung out with my friend Bebop a lot. Another selfie before going to the gym. Went to Cookie Fix, had fun. We were putting up posters for a show in Homewood, and we went to Cookie Fix, and I bought the guys cookies because I wanted a cookie, and it's like everyone's getting a cookie. It was really good, really sweet though. This was a terrible day, and I mean, I'm not gonna like cover anything up. I wrote about this maybe a month after it happened, and yeah, just kind of like reflecting on a lot of stuff. This is when I just had some really bad nights, and I was still working out though, doing all that, smiling through it. If you've been here for a while, you know I'm very good at masking. But yeah, this was probably the worst day of my year. And it doesn't look like that, does it? And then this Friday, the next day, I was in just like this catatonic state of shit, and my boss was like, you need to just come to work, just be around people. And I was like, okay, I don't want to, like, I just feel like I'm a burden and all this kind of stuff. And so I did, and it turned out to be really great. One of my coworkers and his girlfriend, we went to this wrestling match at this brewery that was, at first I was like, I'm not sure about this, y'all, but then I was like, you know what, I'm gonna go have fun. And I did. We had the best time ever. It was so much fun. And then the next day I hung out with Abby a bunch. We did a little workout together after I got home from the gym and did my workout. And then here starts May, which just ended. This one I kind of did towards the end of the month. I didn't really start getting back into this until maybe, I don't even remember, maybe around here, mid-May, let's say, mid to late May. Yeah, so more gym selfies, missing my friend who passed away a long time ago. So you'll see him in here. Yeah. This was a fun little Zoom call that I took a photo of myself while I was on the phone with my little sister, because it was just so funny. I'm not going to talk about what we talked about because it's personal, and it was really funny. And so it just made me feel really good to be able to be there for my sister, and I just love her so much. This is when I got to go to Atlanta, that trip that I planned at the end of March. I went to Atlanta for 2 nights, 3 days, and I had tickets to all 3 games in the Braves-Dodgers series. I only went to the first 2 because I was so tired. Game 2 there was a huge like delay, and like it was like 2 or 3 hours, and I was at the stadium, and the game didn't start until like 10 o'clock. I was exhausted, but I stayed for a great majority of the game, and it just was so cold and so rainy, and I was not prepared for that. So I ended up walking back to my hotel and like immediately getting into the hottest bath I could ever draw. And yeah, but I had so much fun. So the first night I went, Mookie hit a home run in my section, and this is a photo from Instagram of that home run. So this is the section he hit it in, but he hit it in like down here, and I'm like up here. But like, y'all, I felt like a little kid. It was so exciting. Watching them like warm up, and like watching Will Smith and Freddie Freeman play catch, like all those little things just was like, it was so great. I'm so grateful that I did all that. But yeah. And then the next night I was sitting a lot closer to the Dodgers bullpen, and I saw Banda, and I was like, oh my God, he's so fine. I mean, like, why do I watch baseball? Have y'all seen these guys? Anyways, no, I'm just kidding. So that was really exciting, and he did pitch later on that night, which was really fun to see. I was really adamant about staying for the Saturday game because I wanted to see Roki pitch. Yamamoto pitched on Friday night, and then I knew Roki was going to pitch on Saturday, so I really wanted to see that. But yeah, it was just so much fun. So much fun. It was kind of funny because so many Braves fans left on Saturday. They were like not sticking around, and it just turned in. It sounded like you would have thought that game was being played in LA. The way that people were chanting for the Dodgers and like cheering and stuff, it was so funny. I came back on Sunday. I decided not to stay. I was able to sell my ticket on SeatGeek though, so which was really nice. I didn't lose that much money. But it was family day at the Barcade, which is called Up Down, and I took Abby because she's been wanting to go, and they have so many more pinball machines, and it's so much cheaper, and we had so much fun. We stayed there for maybe like 2 hours, just having a great time. And then on this day, one of my coworkers took me to go see the Avondale Cave, which is like this cave at this park. And we saw this little geese family that totally inspired the May Patreon artwork, even though they turned out to be ducks. I just think the ducks were really cute. And yeah, that night I did a bunch of work and Scout hung out with me, which was sweet. This was a day someone at work had like shit on me for having a Patreon. Like they were like, not for having a Patreon. They shit on me for being a content creator. Because I was like, I do brand work. I've done brand work and stuff like that before. And they were just like, oh, so you're a influencer or something like that. And I was like, bro, fight me. You don't have a job. Like, okay. So the next day I took a selfie with all of my Patreon Happy Mail that I was getting ready to drop off. And I was like, again, these are the people y'all can thank. Because of this, I'm able to work in the spaces that I am. I don't have to go work for a big, huge corporation, or big, huge nonprofit and be miserable and hate my job. I get to actually work for causes that I believe in and support people who actually need my help. But Switch has been great, although unfortunately I think a lot of that is going to have to change soon. But not yet, just eventually. I know it's coming and it sucks and I'm just bracing for it, really. But yeah, and then I had designed these stickers for work as merch, and I had just gotten them in the mail, and or the vinyls I got in the mail, and so I put them all over my water bottle. And then I don't actually remember what happened on this day. This is me at the gym. My youngest performed with her favorite local band at this event we call Block Party. It's a big fundraiser student showcase for where she takes drum lessons and now bass lessons. And she wanted to play a song with this group called the Beer Sippers, because I went to one of their shows like a really long time ago, and I came home the next day. She was like, where did you go? Who did you see? And so I had to play the music for her, and she fell in love, and she was like, I want to do a Beer Sipper song for Block Party. And I was like, okay. And so she'd been working on it for months, and it was really cute. They call themselves the Soda Sippers. She got to rehearse with the band because they rehearse at where I work once a week. So we just stuck around, and she went in to rehearse the song with them on those nights. And then it was the big show. This is right before she went on stage, and I went to go check on her because I work there. So I was like, I had to run merch. I had to do all these other things. And so I didn't get really like a ton of time to spend with her, but I knew she was going to get nervous. And I was terrified. And so I was like, at one point I was like, the song before hers, I was like, okay, I have to go. Like, I've got to go. I have to be there for her. She needs me. I'm the person she's going to look for. And so I went and checked on her, and she was like pacing back and forth. And I was like, dude, are you okay? And she's like, no, I'm really hot. And I was like, oh God. So I ran and I got her some water. I was like, sit down. I was like, are you going to throw up? And she was like, I think I might throw up. And I was like, shit. I was like, if you don't have to do this, like, don't worry. Like, you don't have to do this if you don't want to. We can stall or something. And then I turn back around, and she's already behind the kit, locked in, warming up. And I was like, shit. And so Adam, the lead singer, he was getting ready to go up, and I was just like, Adam, I don't think she's okay. She's really nervous. Like, I've never seen her like this. I'm like terrified. I am just dying inside. It's one thing to watch your kids like compete in sports, but like watching them perform on stage, especially in like a situation like this where it's like in a band where like if they mess up, like there's nothing you can do about it and everyone will hear it. I mean, they say you won't, but you know what I mean? But it's very anxiety driven. I'm like having a panic attack and he's like, it's gonna be great, it's gonna be fine. And I was like, okay. And I was standing off to the stage watching the whole time and she just killed it. It was the best take that they had of the times that they had rehearsed together, and it was an incredible moment to just see and be a part of that. And she was so proud of herself, and I was just like losing it. But yeah, they all had the best time ever. It was so much fun. And so for the next block party event, she's going to do a song with another local band, which we call the Sick Ducks because we don't say the F word. Well, she doesn't say the F word. And I don't want to get banned on YouTube. So, but yeah, a great all-girl group here based in Birmingham. So we're really excited for that to happen. Yeah. And then the next day, this was also Mother's Day weekend. So we went and got some flowers. I decided to pick out a whole bunch of yellow flowers at Trader Joe's because obviously all the flowers are getting picked through. But I really love the color yellow. A yellow bouquet really makes me happy. So I got a bunch of yellow flowers, and then Abby and I made a bouquet. And the next day was Mother's Day. I just hung out with the girls. Abby and I did a little workout after I got home from the gym. We went to Seasick, which is my favorite record store here in Birmingham, and they had Ken and Friends, the pop out at the live at the Forum on Juneteenth on vinyl. So I got that on vinyl. I have it on cassette tape, but now I also have it on vinyl, which I'm very excited about. Then we went and had split a quesadilla, and then we went and had some churros. Then I think we went to a movie too. I can't remember what we went and saw Thunderbolts again. The next day, Abby had her spring recital. This is like an update on like my workout pics. I just made a collage and to see my progress, and I was like, oh wow, that's a lot. These days I don't have anything printed for. Went and saw the Beer Sippers at a 21 and up venue. So Abby did not get to go with me, but I always have to record something and take photos and send them to her. So I had a photo from that. Had a long night arguing with people, and that sucked, but whatever. The next day I hung out with my friend Bebop, and that was really nice. And then, oh God, this Sunday is like, I've been doing a lot of things on my own, obviously. One of the things that I dreaded was going to a birthday party where you only know one person. This other friend of mine was supposed to go. He didn't show up. And then I was like really nervous about it. I was going to talk myself out of it. And I was like, no. Let me go do this. So I went and I just had so much fun. I met some really cool people. I watched them do their fantasy football draft, and that was really entertaining because they're very serious about it, and that was so much fun. And then the following Monday I had jury duty, which sucked. I hated it, but it was also my best friend's birthday, and she made a wish for me that day that I would not get selected, and turned out the defendant on the case that I was assigned to took a plea deal, so I had to sit there for 6 hours, but I got to also collect a check and walk out. So there was that, which I didn't know that was a thing. This day, working out, I don't remember. I'll probably find something to journal about in here when I go through my Instagram stories. And then I don't remember what we were doing. Oh, this day we went to went and had sushi. This was Caitlin's last day of school, junior year, so now she's a senior, which is mind-blowing. And then Abby got an award at school, so we took them out. Another day of working out. Abby finally got to go see the Beer Sippers live because they were playing at an all-ages sober space venue here in Birmingham. Well, here in Birmingham, that's where I work. So I got to take her to that. It was so much fun. One of my coworkers went, and we hung out and just had a great time. And then we went home after the show, after they performed. And then the next day, I don't really remember. We went to the pool. Oh yeah, we went to the pool for the first time this summer so far. We've been going to the pool a lot at my mom's apartment. And then I just hung out with Abby a whole bunch, and that was really nice. I just spent a ton of time with her. She started learning bass on Saturday, and so this is her playing my guitar like it's a bass. And then she made me take her to my work so she could practice on an actual bass for a whole hour. I was like, are you kidding? But that was a lot of fun. I took a nap. And then I've just been going through a lot of chaos lately. Grief that's been sneaking up on me, missing a friend. But yeah. Made the mistake of listening to oh my gosh, Jimmy Eat World's album Bleed American. There's a song in there where they are singing about these two women who helped them like get their start and everything. They didn't have like a place to live, so they were living with these two women, and they unfortunately died unexpectedly in a car crash. And there's this one song and that I just keep listening to torment myself. And there's a line that, this is a lyric from the song, a song for a heart so big, God wouldn't let it live. So yeah, just been trying to build myself up. I think that's why I go to the gym so much. Because like I'm seeing myself just get so much stronger physically that I feel like at some point it will impact me internally. Not yet, as you can tell from me fighting back tears. But this is last Friday. It's a terrible day. And I still wrote some stuff. I decided I don't have any photos or anything. I probably do have photos from that day, but I just took some washi tape, a hodgepodge of things from High Paper Clouds. I think this one is from High Paper Clouds, and then these two are from Theoretical Designs. I really love this one here. But yeah, so just like I did a collage of washi. And then Saturday, hung out at my mom's. We went to the pool, kind of dragged myself out of bed. I did a bunch of work I had to release that day. That was a very, very difficult day. And then we're into June. So this is yesterday. This is my June cover page. I already went ahead and decorated some things. This is Kike Hernandez. He got to pitch against the Yankees, and that really made my day, which was the day before, which was on the 31st. That's when he pitched, because they were up like 15-1 or 15-2. Sorry, Aaron Judd had 2 home runs. But they let him pitch, and that was a lot of fun to watch. And this is just my mood for the month. Just being nonchalant as hell. And I love this little sticker, this little tuna can. You'll do amazing things right after all that panicked crying. I get asked a lot where I get these like sticker books from. I've gotten all of these, I think, from Urban Outfitters. They're like $8 a piece. You can probably find them elsewhere, but if you just search up, let's see, what would you search? Here's the brand, Brass Monkey. Or if you just search up like the title, Judgy Fish sticker book, Salty Birds, you can do it. But they're all like sarcastic, funny stickers. And then yesterday, I went and did a sauna cold plunge, and I was so nervous about it, but I did it, and it was so much fun. I cannot wait to do it again. The sauna was not nearly as bad as people were making it seem. The cold plunge was worse than people were making it seem. It was basically because when I first got into the cold plunge, like I was fine. You come out of the sauna, you go rinse off, and then you get into the cold plunge. And I was doing it with, when I got into the sauna, a friend of mine was already in there. And then this other guy that I know from the gym came in. And then this other guy who we all kind of like, you just meet people when you're sitting around sweating. You just start talking. Honestly, talking is what helps get you through it all, because you're in there for like 20 minutes. They say do the sauna for 20 minutes and then go do the cold plunge for 4. So the more you talk, the better and the easier it is. So I was just like in there chatting it up with anybody who would talk to me, which fortunately was most people, because everyone in there was really nice. So when we got out, me and these 2 guys, we got into the cold plunge together, and it was just like, again, as long as you're just talking to somebody, the time goes by so much faster. And we were just like joking around. They kept putting ice in our plunge, and I was like shooing it away. I was like moving it. And then, yeah, they had these little duckies, these like rubber duckies that would not sit up in the cold plunge. It was so funny. But it was a lot of fun. I also had a friend who came with me, and he just kind of like hung out just to make sure that I wasn't by myself, which was great. And we got to catch up because I haven't seen him in so long. So I wrote about that too. And yeah, it was a good day. Nighttime's the hardest. I had a really hard time going to sleep last night. And fortunately, my best friend was out. Not fortunately, she was out with this guy, and she was not having a great time. So she was texting me. And so that helped me, kind of helped lull me to sleep, which was nice. I needed that. Even though I hate what happened. But it was nice to talk to a friend. But anyways, yeah. That has been my cousin. I'm pretty sure this video is like 3 hours long. I do have another journal I want to share with y'all. I'm not going to do it today. I will do it later this week, most likely. I had talked about it. I've talked about it on my Instagram a lot. And I really want to make a video for it. I want to do a separate video just for it. It probably won't be nearly as long as this because it doesn't have anything but writing in it. But yeah, I've been just trying to fall back in love with this. Not trying to. I have fallen back in love with this. I just want to really catch up on a lot of things. Focus less on some people and more on stuff like this. So I'm really excited to get back into everything. I'm feeling very motivated creatively. I want to do a lot of stuff. And so yeah, today I'm going to work on my June sketches. I have 2 big grants that are due. Oh shoot, they're not due till Wednesday. No, sorry, Tuesday. Shoot. They're due tomorrow. I'm halfway done. I'll be fine. It'll get done. It always gets done. I just wanted to submit them today because that's how I am. But yeah, thank you if you watched this whole entire video. Sorry for being gone for so long. Hopefully I can be more active and all of that. And I will see y'all next time. Bye.